This is One Step from Falling. This is Steve.
And this is Ty.
And you're listening to Brutally Delicious Podcast.
All right, so hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast. I am Bruce.
My name is Chris.
And today we are going to speak with... Shit, I forgot the name of this band. Uh-oh, hold on.
One Step from Falling.
Today we are going to speak with One Step from Falling.
What if I gave you the wrong band name and didn't tell you?
It doesn't matter. I've called people the wrong... We did a whole interview and didn't know who we were talking to once.
I did. Remember that time I called the band the wrong name? And he's like,
You called them the wrong name. And then once we did a whole interview with the band and then we got off it, I'm like, shit, that wasn't who I thought we were talking to.
And the other guy was messaging you. Hey, yep. I'm ready. Why are you calling?
Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best on this show.
We're very organized. We can use Google Calendar.
Yes. It took us a while to get that working out too. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to speak with One Step from Falling. That's another Pavement band, by the way.
Okay.
We do a lot of stuff with Pavement, so that's kind of cool.
Awesome.
This is Ty. Steve should be on as well.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's funny. Bruce didn't know who we were calling, so he could have said, "This is John." How are you today?
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm Bruce. That's my partner, Chris. And sorry, we're a little.
We're going video. Today. I'll turn my video on. Here we go.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Video.
Here.
Steve,
hey, how are you?
Hello.
Cool. Wait for somebody. Are we good?
Well, we're waiting for Steve, and I think what happened is
I'm on right now. I'm on.
Oh, I see somebody. Oh. Yeah, Steve. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm Bruce. That's my partner, Chris, with the bald head there.
Okay.
It's a bald head, but I'm about to get really cool. Here we go.
Hey,
there we go.
Beautiful. Go. Anyway, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for joining us. How's it where you guys are? Things starting to lighten up a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, but now we got protests and things happening, so there's a lot going on.
Where are you guys located?
I'm in Syracuse area, and I believe Ty's out in Binghamton. So,
has it gotten that far north? It's bad up there as well?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
It's migrating up here.
Yeah.
I know I'm in Richmond, and it's been pretty horrible the last couple nights.
Oh, wow.
And Chris is right outside of D.C., so it's the same there as well. Anyway, thank you for joining us. So if you guys could give us the 2-sentence boardroom pitch of One Step from Falling, what would it be?
Let's go. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
I was wondering, you guys got on and you look so serious, and I just finished watching Lung Butter. And I was like, there's no way these guys are very serious. And you get on and your faces are all stoic. You're like, hello. And I was like, oh, shit.
I'm trying to figure this thing out. I can't see either one of you right now. Actually, I can see you.
I have mine off because I live in this weird part of outside of Richmond where the internet sucks. And when I turn on my camera, the bandwidth sucks it all, and we start pausing. So it's just audio. I will tell you, if you could picture Jason Momoa, that's kind of what I look like.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like
use your imagination.
He looks like a much fatter, older version and bald of Jason Momoa.
It's for you.
Yeah. So tell us, have you guys been doing anything different or interesting to interact with fans now that we can't be out on the road and touring or playing shows?
Yeah, man, just a lot of live stuff. You know, we're trying to do as much social media stuff as we can, try to get out there, do live videos, try to interact with people. We did some giveaways for some merch and stuff like that, just to get people, everybody's online right now. So
yeah. And has the response been pretty good?
Yeah, pretty good. For sure. Yeah.
Chris?
What the hell is the song Lung Butter about?
That's
what I want to know. Because when I think of lung butter, I think of like when you have a cold or whatever, which is not fun to think about right now. Not right now. We don't want to think about that. But, when you do, and you get all the phlegm that comes up, I call that lung butter. So
yeah, I mean, Chris, you're right on the money there, guy. It's kind of like this metaphor for being aggressive with somebody, and before you go to talk to somebody, you kind of get, I don't know, some people can get anxiety, and when you kind of like, you get that first initial like, you know what I mean?
I see. I don't have that problem. I really like uncomfortable situations, even. So often you can ask Bruce this. One time we were on 70,000 Tons of Metal, and he's like, "Oh, I want to interview some people." I was like, "Okay."
That's right. I was getting B-roll footage for my documentary, and you just went and asked everybody.
Yeah, I was like asking everybody from the biggest bands to like random people, and some people were like, "No, I don't want to be on a video." I was like, "Okay." So I lack that human nature of uncomfortability, as you could tell.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Bruce is very shy.
Yeah.
So tell us about your band. How do you guys kind of come to be what you are?
Ty, you want to elaborate on that? Yeah. Well, I mean, I've only been in the mix for a year now. I joined pretty much last year, this time, May. Band's been around a while. 2011 is when they started, and Steve and Bob and Pete, they grew up together. They went to high school together. So that's kind of where it started. And they had, so when they started writing music and kind of getting out on the scene, Steve was originally playing drums and singing, right? So had the Don Henley effect going on. And they had a different bass player, and the band kind of started out that way. And then I think 2013 is when Josh, our current bass player, joined, and that pretty much remained unchanged until last year. And it really the impetus behind that change was, I think it was just a kind of a stagnation that was going on, and Steve was pulling double duty and didn't want to do that anymore. So he approached the guys and said, I really want to kind of concentrate on fronting the band. And so what do you think about finding a drummer? And it just, my involvement was actually, the timing couldn't have been more fortuitous, because the band that I was in prior to One Step, we played a show with those guys up in Syracuse. I think it was last March or something like that. And again, Josh actually lives like 2 miles from me. And, we kind of were in the scene down here in the Southern Tier, and I started talking to Josh, and I was unhappy with my situation, blah, blah, blah. It just sort of came together. So they were like, "Hey, why don't you kind of come out and see how everything fits?" And, so I think the first time we jammed, they were like, "So, what songs do you know?" It was
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, it was a very like, kind of an informal thing. They didn't give me any songs prior to showing up, but I did my homework a little bit. So
wait a second. They didn't give you any songs to learn, and then you show up and they're like, "What songs do you know?"
Yeah. If you knew the band, that's kind of par for the course. It's kind of how we operate. But I had like maybe 4 or 5 days to kind of prepare whatever. So I basically showed up knowing, I think, about 9 songs. And so they said, what do you know? And I said, well, let's just start at the top. And I jotted down some shorthand stuff, just to kind of help the learning process. And the first time around it was good, and they called me back. Second time around it was better. And so it's been a little bit of an evolution, but like I said, for me, I can't even speak to what happened 7-8 years ago, because I wasn't in the mix. But current lineup wise, that's what's happened in the last at least year.
Okay, I have a uncomfortable question.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is a new series that I'm going to run. I've actually just made up this question series. Bruce
That's
doesn't
bad.
even know it's happening because I just
This
made
is
it up
gonna be
right
bad.
now. What's it like being a drummer in a band with
a
the
drummer?
former drummer with lead singer disease?
It's It's it hasn't really been that bad. I was expecting, to be honest with you, I was expecting a lot of Steve being like, "Well, that's not how that's played," or "No, I do a paradiddle in there." Like it was never like that. I just kind of, and I don't play things like Steve does. I mean, obviously, everybody's different, but it hasn't been like that at all. Steve kind of just, I'm pretty sure these guys would have told me if I was, dorking something away. But
rubbing your face is a sign of lying. Did you know that?
Is it really?
No, I just made that. Shit. I just made that shit up.
Maybe you're doing your job at making.
Uncomfortable questions with Chris and Bruce. Okay, yeah. That segment's over. Bruce?
I have a question for you. This is kind of like unrelated to One Step from Falling. Which finger on the average human hand has the fastest growing nails?
The middle finger.
Did you just Google that? How the hell did you know that?
No, I have no idea. I just figured that.
That was totally right.
Really?
Yeah, totally right. We do this segment in the show where we ask ridiculous questions. Usually, I kind of give you a preface, but I just went with it. You just pulled that one right out of your ass. That was great.
Believe it or not, that's an actual segment we do. He didn't just make that one up like I did.
I know you guys are probably ready to hang up.
No. So I assume you guys have never listened to this podcast before.
They wouldn't have been on it if they did.
So this podcast is about getting to know the band in a casual conversation instead of the usual stupid questions like, where did your band name come from?
Right. No, yeah. Good, man. It's
and once I saw the video, I was like, okay, these guys will be cool with us.
Yeah, because we have to be selective too. How we ask
Whose idea was the powdered donut holes at the start of that video?
That was actually my idea. And when they were eating them and stuff, I was like, come on, do like smash it up against your face and get all like crazy with it. And when they did it, as soon as they did it, we're like, that's fucking gold.
It was gold because the fake mustache really sold that whole bit.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty brutal. It was just terrible. But I think that was just the start of what would end up being like something I don't think we were planning on, but it turned out to be so campy and so bad it was good. Like that. The wig and the mustache, like that was kind of meant to just be like, this is so bad, but it's good. Like the gun with the orange, like barrel, like just stupid stuff like that. It worked out in the end.
Yeah, now, in case you haven't noticed, we're fans of the stupid stuff, so that's perfect.
Did you shoot this on a phone? Did you have a camera? Do you have a videographer?
Yeah, our bass player has a media company, and he helps out and does all that stuff while trying to be in the video. So,
well, no, yeah. It looks really cool, but it looks like intentionally kind of
right.
You know what I mean? So, but thematically, it's the same all the way through. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, we wanted to give it like that kind of cheesy home, like we did it on a phone or something type of look.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, if we had about 4 hours, we could really dive into just how terrible that day was. Actually,
what's with drummers always complaining? Is that why you became a singer?
No,
he's got less to carry. That's why.
Okay, here's uncomfortable questions 2. Okay, since he's become a singer, does he help the band with load in or load out, or does he just fuck off?
And don't fucking lie, Ty. I did it. But yeah, I'll do the occasional fucking off once in a while for sure.
We keep him on task. I mean, we've got. It really he helps out with everything. We've got, outside of all the gear that we have. I mean, obviously as a drummer, but our bass player Josh has just got a ton of stuff, right? So all those.
Why would a bass player have a ton of stuff?
Well, if you listen to the record, there's a lot of kind of layered sounds and stuff going on. That's all Josh and his rig. So
okay,
he's got a lot of gear, and our in-ear system. that's a whole another set of stuff. So Steve is, he pretty much, hey, grab that, go sit up the merch table. He's kind of like the puppy dog, he just kind of tell him what to do, and he just sort of does it,
Nice.
Let's see what happens the next time.
He's a roadie / frontman.
As soon as you guys get off this podcast, I hope you can remain a band.
I was going to say, I think this is the end of One Step from Falling right here.
It's not. For anyone that's listening, we have video feed of them, and they look very happy. Except for the drummer.
Except for the drummer.
Okay. That's how we do business.
Yeah.
All right, so on to more serious questions. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Absolutely fucking not.
Wait a second. Why do you say no?
It's the only way to eat a hot dog is to throw it in the fucking garbage.
Whoa!
Oh!
So American.
Oh!
No hot dogs, man?
No, I'm just kidding. I just had a hot dog for lunch today, actually. Believe it or not. And I'm not even joking.
Okay,
so sandwich or not sandwich?
No, I don't think
it's a sandwich.
It has to be a sandwich. I agree.
Here's a question.
Stuff in between bread is a sandwich.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. What's that little piece of bread that ties the bun together called?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
On the hot dog bun.
We learned this a few weeks ago. Oh, maybe we made it up, but either way, you're going to find out in a second.
Oh, the binder? No idea.
Oh, you're going to wish it was the binder. Once you hear this, you're not going to have hot dogs anymore. Go ahead, Chris.
The crim?
Hot dog hymen.
Oh, stop. Is that true?
No, it's not true. It's fake news. Fake news.
All right. I will tell you something is true. So let me tell you. We do this podcast. We talk about nonsense. We talk about the bed. Chris, where did Chris go? Chris knows where I'm going with this. We did this. We always ask. Yeah, he's going to stroke out over there. We always ask these weird questions. And one day we were doing a podcast with Riley from Allegiant, the vocalist from Allegiant.
Oh,
and
God.
I don't know how we went down this road, but do you guys know? You guys know what urethral sounding is?
No.
Do we know what? I didn't hear that.
Urethral sounding.
Urethral sounding.
I think I might, but
Don't admit it on the air, whatever you do. And don't Google it on your work computer.
No, I have an idea.
This has gone over the edge. Bruce, we're supposed to be polite to our guests here.
No.
Sorry.
No need.
Do you want the answer to that, Chris? We'll give it to you, or we could just move on. Whatever.
I think we should move on. Let the people either remember that episode or Google it on their work computer.
Go back and look. All right, so we're going to leave you to just Google it if you'd like. Anyway, let's go back to One Step from Falling. When you guys are writing, are you guys like writing with the live show in mind, or are you guys writing the song just for the song's sake? Does that make sense?
I think there's a little bit of both. We're always, they're always like, we get a breakdown and we're like, man, this live is going to sound great. Like, this is going to be like one of those stadium fillers or a small club fillers. As far as writing I don't think we write to specific stuff, man. We just kind of go for it, and if we like it, we like it.
And is there staying with the writing process, is there something you want your fans to walk away with after listening to Lung Butter? Is there any kind of message, or is it just fun?
Yeah, like I said, like that song's kind of about like the anxiety of confrontation, and like you said, Chris isn't a very confrontation, or he deals with confrontation different than other people do. So I hope somebody can find like a median in there, because even me being someone who wants to be up front, I still deal with issues with, every time I walk on stage, I'm still getting butterflies like crazy, and I have those issues that I'm trying to get better at and all that stuff. So if they can walk away with that and kind of feel the same way, then I guess I'd be happy with that.
Your job is well done, right, Chris?
I don't have any more questions other than, is tomato soup really just ketchup water?
Fuck.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of just some cheap Campbell's tomato soup. So
yeah, I'm with you. Maybe with a little grilled cheese next to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm definitely not eating tomato soup on its own. I mean, that's I don't know about that.
I think I could do that, but definitely the grilled cheese. That's like old comfort mom food.
Well, it's just something to dip your grilled cheese in, right? Like, when you have grilled cheese and tomato soup, you don't actually have a spoon, right? You have the grilled cheese.
Oh, well, I've never done that. I've always had a spoon as well.
No. Because once the grilled cheese is gone, there's no use for the tomato soup anymore.
Thank you.
Wow.
Have you ever had saltine crackers and milk?
No. That sounds all kinds of wrong.
Bro, just give it. I call it goop. You got to try it.
I can't drink
Really?
milk. I can't drink milk, so I can't do it.
Oh,
I will definitely try it. But it's really good.
It's real. I'm telling you, man. It sounds terrible, but you'll be.
It sounds horrendous, but we've learned a lot of stuff.
I think you're getting trolled, Bruce.
I might be, but you know what? I try everything.
This is payback for the hot dog hymen.
I take the suggestions that we get on this show all the time, and I try them all. So I'll try that.
Yeah, give it a shot.
That'd be great. Thank you. I hope that wasn't too fucked up. We just like to goof around and have some fun, especially nowadays.
That was a good time, guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
No problem. Thank you. Good luck. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Be well.
Bye.
Welcome to my 120 seconds or less of Brutally Delicious. I'm Ashley, and today we are checking out Deadlord Rising Quick out of Stockholm, Sweden. They're a 4-man crew that was formed in 2012, and let me tell you, they have went hard since they stepped out on the scene. They're a crazy fusion of both Swedish and American, true, old-fashioned, and just timeless heavy metal inspired by Thin Lizzy, Iron Maiden, and UFO. You know, they tell you to find something that you're good at and just stick with it. Well, let me tell you, it's a damn shame it took till 2012 to get these guys together. You can't top a band that finds their sound from day one, or at least acts like it anyway. With 2 albums out and a third to be released in September called Surrender, you can check out the music video for the single Evil Always Wins on YouTube and Apple Music, which, okay, is so weird because a dude in a nice suit is literally stuffing his face the whole time. Like, WTF. I was expecting, like, 70s Chevelle SS to pull up and, like, whisk him away at least, but no, it definitely caught me off guard, so kudos to you guys. Aside from the obvious musical skill this glorious musical sandwich possesses, they were on tour with Wolf, and they had their band break down 5 times, yet they still hauled ass to never miss a show. How can you really pass up a band that has Hakeem's nice hair, full of fucking killer riffs, and a hell of a work ethic? What's that? Exactly, you can't. So do yourself a favor and go grab a sneak peek of a few of their songs off their upcoming release, Surrender, on Spotify or Apple Music. I think there's 4 songs available, and we will catch you next time.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.